I wrote this down because I wanted to get it right, because it's very important to me. It is my great honor to introduce my husband, Dennis. Throughout our marriage, he has been my rock, the person I could depend on for anything and everything, especially after we lost Tina. Without Dennis's hard work to raise money for the Hankies2Hope events, this day, this ministry would not exist. Please welcome the founder of Tina Macy Foundation, Dennis Macy.
Thank you, Stephanie, for a good introduction. Well, I've got some intense stuff to talk about, but before that, this is the first time I addressed the ladies. I figured it'd be a nice way to just tell you a little bit about Stephanie and me, just for a second. We've been married 45 years. Can you believe that? I can't. December is a very busy month for us. We have the Mother's Tea. So, and of course, there's five children we've raised. And of course, all the stuff that goes with that. I have my birthday, December 21st. And then also, we planned it this way, it's also Tina's birthday. She would be 40 years old. We were born on the same birthday. We planned it that way. Just joking. Kind of, sort of. No, her doctor was leaving town. He says, "You ready to give birth to your daughter?" We didn't know at the time. And because I won't be here if you, let's do it right now. Let's do it the 21st because that's Tina's birthday. So we did it that way. And then, believe it or not, Stephanie has her birthday, December 31st. The worst day to have a birthday, believe me. For 45 years, I've known this is the worst day to have a birthday. Oh, I'll tell you what, I can't get a break. But she won't tell me how old she's going to be. She says she's 39. I said, "You look like you're 39. That's easy. You look like you're 39. There's no doubt." So December is always busy. And we have 5 children, like it says. We have 7 grandchildren. 2 of them live in Sweden. And we don't see them that often, but thank the Lord for FaceTime. I think the person who invented FaceTime should get the Nobel Peace Prize. Because it brings a lot of peace when they call in and we answer and they're there. We watch them grow up from 6,000 miles away. And they surprised with a summer visit this past summer. In the middle of the July when it was 100 degrees, they're coming in from Sweden where it's only 72 degrees. And actually, our son-in-law, he did some work outside. He hadn't been in the summer of Louisiana in 6 years. He did some work outside with his father. He basically had a heat stroke. He had a heat exhaustion for 2 days. And Lauren, my daughter, she says, "Dad, it was so hot yesterday." I said, "Well, how hot was it?" "It was so hot. I saw a dog chasing a cat, and they were both walking." That's always a good one. Everybody likes that. Everybody likes jokes about animals. Well, I'm going to share something that's pretty intense. So get your handkerchiefs ready if you need to. I've been practicing. I've got mine ready. So I've got a few minutes. They say I have a few minutes or they won't invite me back. So here we go. When I became a Christian about 50 years ago, I never imagined I would be involved in a ministry that's centered on overcoming a broken heart and soul. Well, you don't ever overcome the loss of a child, but you learn to walk through the valley of death and still allow God to remain in your life. As a young Christian, I thought I could develop a faith that would not have to experience a disappointing or a bad outcome. This is just not scriptural. In the parable of Matthew in chapter 7, in Matthew 7, Jesus explains that the same storm that can cause destruction to both the wise and the unwise. But the extent of the damage is based on the foundation undergirding the structure. I'll detail our situation with our daughter Tina in a minute, but first, Let's examine Psalm 3 that I've been reading a lot of in this past summer. And it's the story of situation of David's life and how he struggled, but survived and flourished. Remember, he's the one that said that though I walk through the valley, thou wilt be with me. So here's Psalm 3. Oh Lord, how are they increased that trouble me? Many there be that rise up against me. Many there be would say of my soul, there is no help for him in God. But don't stop there. Keep reading. Keep walking. The next verse. But thou, O Lord, art a shield for me, the glory and the lifter of my head. I cried unto the Lord with my voice, and he heard me out of his holy hill. After you lose a child, the phrase cried out unto the Lord with my voice just doesn't cut it. From my experience, the better word would be I wailed unto the Lord with my voice. I'm sure you all experience the same deep soul emotion. You can shake your heads if you agree. But what I want you to think about is how does David move from there's no help for him in God to the next verse that professes, but thou, O Lord, art a shield for me, the glory and the lifter of my head. What does David know? What does David do? He pulled his parachute. Now let me explain the parachute. I don't know about you, but when something drops deep down into my soul, I can tell you when, where, and how it happened. The Bible refers to it as the still small voice of the Lord that hits you. About 3 months after Tina's accident, this is in 2002, I was driving to a business seminar in New Orleans. The radio was tuned to Focus on the Family broadcast. Y'all, anybody know of Focus on the Family? Very good, foundational, family-oriented Christian broadcast. The guest speaker was Captain Charles, a Navy pilot who was shot down over Vietnam, captured, and in solitary confinement for over 6 years. After returning home, he was at a restaurant with his family. The waiter asked, "Aren't you Captain Charles? Didn't you fly off the USS Kitty Hawk? You were shot down over Vietnam, captured, and stayed in solitary confinement for many years?" "Yes, you are correct." "Well, how do you know that, my dear friend?" "Well, sir, I'm the young soldier that packed your parachute for that mission." Well, can I just ask you one question? How does one stay in solitary confinement for 6 years and come out a sane man? Well, my friend, it starts with having your parachute properly packed. Yes, it starts with parachute. I'm sure the young soldiers just didn't watch a YouTube video the night before and figure out how to do it. It takes repetition, practice, correction, more instruction, diligence. But to survive and return the same person, what Captain Charles is saying is that his soul parachute was also properly packed. He trusted God with his life and exercised faith that he had been taught. He lived what Apostle Paul wrote, "We're troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Cast down, but not destroyed." One of my most favorite verses in the Bible. You can hardly survive this daily world today without a type of a parachute, let alone solitary confinement, let alone the tragic loss of a child. Let me tell you about our second child, Tina. She was a tiny, 4'11", blonde-haired, deep brown-eyed dynamo. Even though she was quiet, she was confident, a confident leader of her peers. During the summer of 2002, she was working with a Christian organization as a cheerleader instructor. The group would travel in vans among the southern states, teaching high school girls the proper skills of cheerleading. She had one more week of instructions, and then would return home to begin her senior year in high school. Time to get your handkerchiefs out. Get them ready. At 6 a.m. on a lazy Saturday morning in late July, our phone rang. Stephanie was first to respond by walking into the kitchen to answer the call. No cell phones then. A few moments later, I hear her in panic mode. I ran into the kitchen. She gave me the phone, falls into the kitchen floor wailing. The charge nurse at the University of Alabama, Birmingham Hospital, tells me that there was an accident in which the van Tina was riding had a blowout on the interstate. We learned later that 4 passengers were ejected. 1 passenger was pronounced at the scene. Tina is not conscious. She has a head injury. We need to get to UAB Hospital ASAP. What do you do when your 17-year-old daughter, 300 miles away, in the ICU, and your wife is screaming on the floor? There's only one thing you can do. You pull your parachute. Oh Lord, how will they increase their trouble me? Many there be that say, there is no help for him in God. You rely on what you have been packing in your own parachute for all these years. You recall the scriptures you learned, the worship songs you sang, the fellowship you've had with all your church family. You pull your parachute and you start floating under God's grace. I would be a fool to say that relief and normalcy are immediate. It takes time for a parachute to glide and gradually land again on solid ground. David completes Psalm 3 as he climbs through the valley. Salvation belongs unto the Lord. Thy blessing is upon thy people. He started with, there's no help for him in God. God is my strength and my shield. Thy blessing is upon thy people. All in one psalm. Some of you, correction, all of us did not have our parachute packed, locked, and ready to deploy when the disheartening news of our children arrived. But through the years, I have learned that the walk through the valley can be managed by drawing nigh to God, and he will draw nigh to you. Let's see. This is going too fast. I'm going to end with Lamentations chapter 3. See if this sounds like you, okay? To see if you remember this. I remember my affliction and my wanderings, my bitterness, my gall. You remember that? You remember those days? That first day, first month, first Christmas? I will remember them, and my soul is downcast. It says, I will remember them, and my soul is downcast within me. Yet I call to mind, and therefore I have hope. Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassion never fails. Now you've heard this. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. You need to read Lamentations 3 when you get home. But tonight, do this tonight and tomorrow morning. I heard this from a Christian Hollywood actor. I'll tell you his name later, off on the side, who spoke at a graduation, who gave a graduation speech. When you go to bed tonight, and maybe you want to do this every night, put your slippers deep under your bed so that when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you have to do is get on your knees and fall to your knees. This is a good time for you to confess that his compassions are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. Let's say that together. Your compassions are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. And everybody said, Amen. Thank you for letting me share.
I I really struggled as to what I would say. And when I heard what he said, I think I didn't really need to add to that. But I wanted to share a little story. When Tina was traveling with the cheerleader organization, it was a Christian organization, so they didn't do just teach cheers. They also had devotions and that kind of thing. And Tina learned how to do sign language to different songs. So after her death, the group sent actually a video of her performing the sign language to this song. And this song, the words of this song really gets us. And it's unbelievable that this is one that she did, performed before she died, maybe just a few weeks. It's called Come and Feel My Heart. Some of you may know that one. It's by Avalon. Free, I long to be free. I long for the day I'll believe that you say you see me, that what you see in me is true. That's hard for me to do. It's hard for me to die to myself and trust my life to someone else. So come, empty me out. I'm no good without you on my side. Come and fill my heart with hope. Come and fill my life with love. Come and fill my soul with strength to carry on. Because from here the climb is steep, the road is long. Come and fill my days with dreams. Empty me of all the empty things that I hold on to. Come and fill my heart with you. I need you in my life, need you like the air that I breathe. You've become the very heart of me. And I can't believe my eyes, can't believe the dream that I've found. Lord, your love has turned my world around. So come fill up my heart till I'm like you are so deep inside of me. Search me, Lord, try my heart. Come and take me now and make me new, so that all of the world will see you overflow in my life. Come and fill my heart with hope. Come and fill my life with love. Come and fill my soul with strength to carry on. Because from here the climb is deep, the road is long. Come and fill my days with dreams. Empty me of all the empty things that I hold on to. Come and fill my heart with you. This spoke to me in so many ways, but when it talks about the climb is steep and the road is long, and to want to dream again, these all were very important to me, and I just think it was just a godsend that we were able to get that from them. Anyway, but as far as the parachute, yeah, you gotta have it ready, and we didn't have it all the way ready, but we knew who the source to go to, and that was God. There are many organizations, I don't know about many, but there are organizations that do the same thing we do. But they don't profess that Jesus is the hope of heaven. And to me, how do you not believe, or if you don't believe, how do you exist? Because my hope is that I will see my daughter again. I will meet her at the gates of heaven. And after 22 years, I still believe that. And so one day, my parachute's not going to come down, it's going to go up. So, thank you.